I made a recent video where I talked about how childish habits and the things that we used to do as children, like building dens and climbing trees, seem to make humans incredibly happy as people. And I wanted to expand on that topic a little bit more, especially in the sense of small pleasures bringing humans joy. Because I think that good mental health can be defined as how easily you are able, as a person, to find joy and happiness inside of things. You may see people that have good mental health, they will go outside on a walk in nature and they will be happy. They will find joy, happiness, and pleasure out of spending time outside and just sort of taking in and being grateful for the world around them. And that is an example of good mental health. They have found happiness in such simple and small things, and this means that they're happy because everything that they do in their daily life is just happy, because they'll go outside and look at a tree and they'll feel just joy and happiness. And I feel like that is a perfect example of good mental health, which I think you should, as a person, and we all should, including me, strive to achieve. Because so many people in the modern day try to sort of find happiness and joy through doing constant overstimulation of so many different activities. People will try to find happiness and try to find just a little bit of joy by going to so many parties, doing so many different drugs and alcohol and all that sort of stuff. And they'll scroll on social media so much, they'll watch so many Netflix shows, play so many video games, eat so much sugar, just to feel a little bit of the sort of high that you get from these instant gratification activities, because they're so real, they're so deprived of sort of real and delayed gratification dopamine. And that's just a sad thing, that people think that they have to sort of do that sort of stuff to actually feel happiness and pleasure, when that couldn't be any far opposite from the truth. You can find happiness, joy, and pleasure in so many simple things, like literally just going outside and looking at a tree, picking up a leaf, and just being happy as a person. It's such a mind blowing thing for so many people to actually just be happy on a daily basis. People think that happiness is something you find on nights out and on weekends when you're away from sort of your week work days or whatever, or school or whatever. But the thing is, you have to find happiness in every single thing that you do on a day-to-day basis. Otherwise, your life just simply won't be happy. You cannot trade 5 days or whatever you do of misery for a few evenings of going out per month. You have to find happiness in your day-to-day life. And a simple way to do that is just by improving your mental health. And through that, you will end up finding pleasure and joy and happiness in the small and simple things in everyday life. Like just someone giving you a coffee, or someone saying thanks to you, or the fact that the tree that is opposite your house looked more beautiful and pretty today. Anything where you will find small pleasure in anything, and that happiness and joy is so just beneficial to you. And it just doesn't take much for you as a person to be happy, and that should be an ultimate goal for everyone, including me, to have inside of life. And before I stop this video, I'm just going to go through one more thing which I think is actually quite interesting. Many people with good mental health don't actually get any happier when they do the sort of common instant gratification activities, like going to parties, like drinking and drugs and sugar and all that. They don't feel any better from doing those activities because they are already incredibly happy as people. You know, the sort of high and stuff that you feel from sugar and from drugs and from drinking and from partying and all that sort of stuff. The high that you feel is actually lower than someone with good mental health's baseline dopamine. Their baseline dopamine will be up here, whereas someone else's baseline dopamine is like all the way down there. They will go to a party and it will like rise up, and it will only be to like about here, and then it will drop down again. But this person's mental health is just sort of just staying straight, and it's slowly increasing, because they're doing all these good things and finding simple pleasure in small things. And yeah, I highly recommend that you try to achieve and strive to do exactly the same thing. And I hope you found value at this video, and I also recommend subscribing, because I love this community of young tribal people who are willing to improve themselves so much more than they already have. And good luck.